Hello everybody, my name is cjgoodwyn. I am the director, writer, and editor of Sherlock Holmes Mare of the Night. And right now we have something special for the audience. Interviews from the cast and crew. Hope you enjoy. Today's interview will be with Jared Stevens. He plays Professor Moriarty in the film Sherlock Holmes Mare of the Night.
All right, so introduce yourself and what's the role you play in the film?
Yeah, my name is Jared Stevens, and I am playing the role of Professor Moriarty.
So Professor Moriarty, that's gotta be pretty cool to be casted as Sherlock's #1 nemesis. So tell us how you feel about playing that character.
I am pretty thrilled, actually. I remember the first time I was ever exposed to Sherlock and Moriarty. I was 8 years old, and I was watching a Star Trek episode. And I think Daniel Davis played this Moriarty that is still so memorable in my mind. I think it was 4 or 5 years before I even realized that they weren't Star Trek characters, that there was this whole other universe of characters that Sherlock and Moriarty represented. But the idea of Moriarty is fascinating to me because he and Sherlock are really the same character, two sides of the same coin. So intelligent, so passionate about what they do, and so bored with regular life. The difference is that Sherlock has this conscience in Watson, and Moriarty chooses to go the creative route of criminality and of the dark underworld, but they're both essentially the same person that chose a different route in life. And that's a fascinating angle to play.
For sure. How do you prepare for such an iconic role?
Well, definitely studying some of the greats who have done that, but trying to get into the mind of Sherlock and understand what are his motivations so that I can counter them, right? And then working with Les and seeing the passion that he brings to the Sherlock character almost just gives me exactly the motivation that I need to be his arch nemesis. So that's a really great pairing.
So, okay, without giving away any spoilers, what differences will this film and story have on your performance of Moriarty?
Well, I think Moriarty always kind of played an understated role, even though in much of the literature he was the force behind a lot of the crimes that were going on. He wasn't in too many of the stories. But I think you'll get to see a different side to him, and you really see the arch nemesis come to life in that pairing with Sherlock in this film, in an angle we've never seen portrayed before.
All right, so some of the other actors here have worked with CJ before in the past, but you haven't. So I've heard that you did a cold read at an audition where you actually read for author Conan Doyle at first, but then CJ saw something in you and wanted to see you do Moriarty, and the rest, as they say, is history. So what made you sign on with CJ to trust someone you just met to go on this filmmaking journey, and what do you think he saw in you to cast you as Moriarty instead of Conan Doyle?
Well, it's funny, you know. I met CJ through Derek Meyer, who was also on this film, and I think CJ had seen me at the time I was in the show Leading Ladies, and with Derek as well. And I think maybe the sight of me in a dress was so horrifying to CJ that he just said, yes, that I see something in there that could be truly frightening. And then when I came to read, I think I was prepared to read for Sir Conan Doyle. But then when I got in front of Les and I was reading for Moriarty, something just kind of clicked inside of me. I was like, oh, I get this. like I guess I'm inherently evil. I don't know, but I could feel an energy there, and I think that came through in my read. But definitely my relationship with Derek and him connecting me to CJ made me feel like this was this was going to be a good experience.
How'd you meet Derek?
So Derek and I were in the show Leading Ladies together, and that's where I met him for the first time, and we were kind of the two leading guys in the show. So we got to work pretty close together, and got to share the stage quite a bit.
Awesome. All right, cool.